Hannah, and thank you, Eric, for that. Yeah, hey, good afternoon, everyone. As Hannah mentioned, I'm just going to spend a few minutes here to kind of show you the overview of the Excel add-in, and then we'll see a little bit of the PowerPoint add-in as well. As Eric was going through our workforce planning scenario, that is something that we can actually build into Excel. In this example that I'll be taking you through today, it's not looking at the workforce planning models that Eric was just showing, but we're actually looking at our P&L. It's essentially the same. Really just wanted to highlight the feature functions available within the add-in that can be used. So hopefully you guys can all see my screen, and I am already showing the Excel template here. Essentially, the add-in is easy to use. Essentially, IT can install that on computers, or users can actually add that as an using the add-on features within the file as well. So once you do have this set up, it's very easy to log in. When you are within Excel, when you've logged in, you go into the SAP Analytics Cloud tab here, and then you have your sign in and sign out buttons here. Essentially, when you're signing in, you're actually signing in with the direct URL that you're using when you log into the web UI from a browser as well. So of course, the user is using the exact same URL and then using their username and password as well. So very easy to get on into the system once the add-on is in place as well, and the user has access to the system. So what you'll see is, we didn't really go into a lot of how some of the planning templates and how some of the stories are built, but essentially within the Excel add-in, you have some of the same features when it comes to building out some of the templates, where you actually have your designer panel. This is actually the panel that we see on the right-hand side here. This is kind of the pivot table where we actually build in our rows and columns and filters of what we actually want to see within regards to the template or the planning template or the report that we're actually building within Excel. So one of the great things about the tool is as well, it actually uses some of those features, which is those get data and set data features. So you're actually building this very much using some of the functionality that's already, people can already be familiar with when it comes to that get and set. And essentially you're able to use that again to kind of build in these reports. So essentially when the user is kind of navigating through these planning templates, as you'll see, this pop-up that came up, this is actually now directing the user and bringing in the filter from the actual web UI. So as the user is making changes, they're actually using the same filters that you actually have on the web UI. So it's directed towards the models and the content that you have as well. So here, this is just a simple filter for date. Essentially, this is the same sort of filter that the user would have seen within the web UI as well. So the features are very similar when you're looking at the web UI and Excel when it comes to that end user capability as well. So very easy to use essentially here as well. One of the things that I did want to point out as well, these Excel models are connected with the web UI. So as I am making changes, say for if we are planning for our budget, and in this example, I'm just going to take product sales in this example, and in the Excel, just make a change to actually do this as 40,000. And what you're going to actually see is, as that saves there, what you're actually going to see in the system is it's actually going to highlight that field in blue. That's kind of an indication that a change has been made. And essentially this change hasn't been reflected on the web UI just yet. But what the user can do is you can actually process your data very much to how you would process data within the web UI as well. And it will actually run those calculations and actually make updates to our plan. So we can see as we're making changes, we can see that impact across our plan as well. So essentially, as a user is making changes within the Excel, I'm just going to quickly jump here into the web UI as well and just go into our budget screen. This is the same template that we've built out in the web UI and also in Excel, just to kind of show how the features and functionality work coincide. So within this screen, I'm actually just going to go ahead and refresh my data. And what we'll actually see is those changes that were made, we'll actually see those prompted in the web UI as well. So again, if users are using the Excel to do planning, to plan for, as they are making those changes, if you have users that are in the web UI as well, you'll actually be able to see those changes when they're being published, so in real time as well. So one of the things I do want to point out as well, the Excel add-in is a great tool to use. We've seen some of our customers use this initially to kind of help with that for the user adoption. So when it comes to users today, they're very familiar with Excel and they feel comfortable with that. So we have seen some customers use this as a starting point, as a way to start using the models and the stories that we've built in the web UI, and then essentially transitioning their employees over into the web UI. So I did want to point out, there are some features within the Excel limitations, based on what you can do in the web UI and what you would be able to do in Excel, especially when it comes to some of that analytic and reporting capabilities. Of course, yes, you can do some reporting features within Excel using some of the graphs and visualizations that Excel provides. But of course, in the web UI, that's going to open up so much more for you to be able to do that analytic and reporting capabilities and be able to have a numerous number of visualizations and then be able to build in insights and things like that. So that is kind of some of the limitations that you have between the two within the web UI and then also the Excel add-in. So this was just to kind of give you a quick overview of the Excel add-in. I'm going to jump over quickly into a PowerPoint as well. So in addition to the Excel add-in, there's actually also an SAP Analytics Cloud add-in that can be used within PowerPoint as well. And what this is going to do is this is actually going to allow you to bring in some of those visualizations that we have within the web UI and we've built based on our data and our stories. We can actually pull that into Excel and pull that into PowerPoint if we needed to put together a few slides for a presentation for our team accordingly as well. So very easily, once the add-in is available, we can go in and add our widgets. And what this is going to do, again, this is opening up a panel on the right-hand side. This panel is going to allow us to explore our data and our analytics that are in the web that we've built in within the platform. I'm going to go ahead and just select one of our report books. I'll show you the report book, the visualization here through PowerPoint, and then we'll jump into the web UI as well, just to kind of show you that visualization as well. So coming in here and just going through our report book, if I go ahead and actually select, for example, our operating income and totals performance widget, what that's doing is that's actually bringing in a visualization widget that's in the web UI that we can actually now add to our PowerPoint. So it's just taken a few seconds to load here. So once that's available, we can actually add that to our PowerPoint deck, and then we can actually start building out presentations as needed. One of the things that I do want to point out, just as this is loading, SAP are continuing to kind of develop and evolve the add-on, especially with within PowerPoint. One of the features that is coming up in the roadmap is the ability to kind of use Joule, the AI platform, to kind of actually analyze the data as well. So as you are looking at the data and bringing it into PowerPoint, you can actually then analyze this data accordingly as well. And it will actually show you trends and give you insights into why product sales may have dipped for a specific region or for a specific time period as well. So that's kind of stuff that's coming out in the AI aspect of the tool, which is a future enhancement coming in as well. So just adding that widget in here, that's actually coming in from our P&L report book. So I'm just going to jump over here to our P&L report book. So essentially some of the visualizations that we see here, it was actually our operating income and total sales by month is what we were able to pull in and put into our PowerPoint deck and accordingly build a presentation that way as well. So yeah, they were just a few feature functions that we wanted to kind of highlight with the Excel add-in and then the PowerPoint add-in as well.